she'll still sound lines.
I'd like to ask everybody to have a seat so we can get the service started. Appreciate everybody coming for the service today. A little wet outside, but frogs and ducks love this weather too, so. Just a couple of quick housekeeping rules. Please silence your cell phones unless you're medical or law enforcement personnel. Restrooms are down the hall, quick right, quick left. Cold drinks in the fridge, hot drinks on the table in the back, and some snacks. Help yourselves at any time to the facilities. I'm Reverend Steve Atkins. I'm the pastor of the church here. I'd like to have Vicki light 3 candles symbolizing the unity of body, mind, and spirit to start the service. We're all here today. Please stand for the invitation, remain standing for the first hymn. Dear Father God, may we feel your presence here today. May we feel the quietness, peace, and love that comes with that awareness. May we realize that this is always in our lives, only our awareness of it tends to wax or wane. And we feel this abiding, unlimited grace. Let it change our lives. Let it change how we speak and act towards others. And do this in trust and honesty. Amen. The next portion is a thought for the day from the pastor. This is where I take something that happened to me in the past week that I either got in meditations or encountered in my daily life and put it into a spiritual perspective. I have these opportunities several times a day, and I try to bring out one that stands out the most. Sometimes I manage to put it into perspective, and sometimes I don't, because there's a human side to everybody. What came to me today, and I call this taking spiritual knowledge and turning it into spiritual wisdom. Wisdom is where you practice it in life around you. Hear all the high-mindedness we want in a group of like-minded people, but when you go out and meet the world head-on with it, that's where the faith and the trust and making it your own comes into play. Because you have to make everything you hear your own and work the way you want it to in your life. What came to me most prevalent this past week was, most of you know that I'm going through a number of changes in life right now. I'm getting ready to retire in February, ending a long-term relationship of 18 years. A lot of changes going on, plus my spiritual work is taking a new track, a whole new era of connection and people and putting into perspective new higher truths that I'm trying to understand. And what came to me this week was about how timing is what Spirit indicates things should be done. Timing is what God's presence and Spirit's presence bring into your life. It's not a matter of thinking something that hasn't been thought before, but it's the right time to do it, because there's a certain amount of creation that goes on from the Spirit side of life, in your life, and in the things that happen to you. And when you do the right thing at the right time, that's God's presence or Spirit's presence that creates the correct timing. And the way that I have managed most of the time, not all the time, to see this timing is by the opportunities that are presented to me. If an opportunity is presented to you, then that indicates your timing of God within your life to be able to try to do what you're guided to do. If the opportunities seem to be not there, I mean, you know about them, but they're just not there to be taken advantage of, then it's time to sit and be quiet. And that's where the human side comes in. The human side of me wants to force things to happen sometimes. It doesn't have a lot of patience. And I try to make these opportunities happen when they're not that easy to make happen. This is where the free will of us as human beings comes in. And as spiritual beings, we have the free will to act on our own convictions. And this is where we have to strike that balance, or I do anyway, with God and Spirit's inspiration and my own drive to accomplish things in my life. So I've been facing that quite a bit through this week. And when we're guided by Spirit to do or not do things, it's always interesting because there's consequences of opportunities, either consequences or benefits. And with these opportunities, there's a time to act as well as a time not to, like I said. And that's the sense that we have to come to. So when you force an opportunity to happen, it's good to try to think the thought through to its conclusion rather than just being moved by emotion to make that opportunity happen. So think the thought through. Take time to judge it. Because if you're rushing without thinking, that's the human side. It doesn't matter how it presents itself. It doesn't matter if it presents itself as, this is the right thing to do. I spoke a little bit about this last week. This is the kind thing to do. This is the right thing to do. That human side of you likes to masquerade a lot of times as your spiritual program, making you do the right thing at the wrong time. That's what the human side of you does. So take your time, feel balanced, and there's no such thing as opportunity only knocks once. Opportunity knocks every moment of every day that you choose to open your mind to God's presence. Thank you for listening. Please stand for the next hymn.
Let's do another song about peace. Peace like the river, number 11. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul, my soul. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul. I got love like an ocean, I got love like an ocean, I got love like an ocean in my soul, my soul. I got love like an ocean, I got love like an ocean, I got love like an ocean in my soul. I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain in my soul, my soul. I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain in my soul. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul, my soul. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul.
Right. Please be seated. Thank you, Lori, and the amen coming over here.
Hallelujah.
The next portion of the service is the healing portion. I'll have Charlie and Judy today. I'd like the way this works is the people over here do contact healing. AshKhen does a guided meditation during the service. And you'll hear a chime during the service. That means the healing chairs become vacant, usually in the back. There's 3 chairs in the back. So move to the back and I'll move you forward as the chairs become vacant. Let's start the service by reading on the back of the hymnal the prayer for spiritual healing. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and power of God.
morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me back?
Yes.
Let's get ready for the meditation. Find a comfortable position to sit. Feet straight on the floor. Thumbs up in your lap. Just sit relaxed. Make sure there is no tension in your physical body. Relax your feet, relax your shoulders. Take in a deep breath, may close your eyes. Breathe in and breathe out. And with your exhale, release and let go if there is any ache or pain in your physical body. With your exhale, let go of the thoughts that are occupying your mind at this time. If you have any worries, any concerns, with your exhale, just breathe it out. Let it go for now. Bring your awareness to your breath. Engage with the mechanism of your breath. While you breathe in and out, feel your body becoming more and more relaxed. And your mind quiet. Feel the motion of your breath. Try to listen to your breath that is flowing throughout your entire body, flourishing, nurturing. Follow your breath that is taking you deeper and deeper within yourself to a very peaceful and quiet presence. That feels calm and soothing. Connect with this peaceful presence. While you breathe, repeat to yourself quietly, I am at peace within and with my surroundings. I am at peace within and with my surroundings. Feel the peaceful sensations going along with your breath, calming, relaxing. Feel the inner peace within you. This is the true state of your consciousness. You are meant to be at peace always. Embrace this peaceful aspect of your being and be still. Be still within. For it is in this stillness that you sense wholeness. It is in the silence and the quietness you feel content with who you are. Breathe in and breathe out and embrace inner peace. Feel your awareness shifting higher, slowly higher to your form. And further up above your head, and connecting with your higher self, the mighty I Am presence that is surrounded with brilliant, bright, golden light. Connect with your I Am. The omnipresence, the omnipotent, the omniscient. There are no thoughts in this state of consciousness. It is a pure state of being. Indulge in this presence of golden light, the mighty I Am, and just be. Breathe in and breathe out, and be in this heightened state of awareness. And in the silence and the quietness, you hear the voice of your I Am decreeing. I am. I am. I am infinite. I am pure and perfect. I am. I am. I am the creator of the universe and every sentient being. I am the manifestation of Christ consciousness dwelling in this physical body. I am capable of manifesting, materializing my thoughts, my intentions that serves the highest good and the highest good of all. I am. I am. Feel your I am echoing. I am divine light. I am divine love. I am the beginning and I am the ending. I am Alpha. I am Omega. I am content with who I am, for I am all that I am. Feel the presence of your I am within you that is empowering. Feel the golden light and see it reflecting from within and without. You feel a sense of wholeness and completion. I am whole, I am complete. See the golden light from your I am presence, penetrating down to the crown of your head. Feel the golden energies moving gently down to your physical body, integrating these higher vibrations of your I am presence. Infinite creativity, infinite intelligence, infinite potentials within your consciousness are being integrated into your physical body through your mental body, your emotional body, stabilizing, harmonizing your inner being. Feel this golden energy circulating within the cells and the tissues of your physical body. Circulating around the molecules, the protons, the neutrons, the electrons. As it moves, it heals and clears and anchors those higher vibrations down into your physical body, crystallizing your DNA to its crystalline and perfect original condition. Feel the harmony and the peace as this divine golden energy is moving within you, down to your feet and anchoring through the soles of your feet. See this golden light expanding further out. Filling your entire aura. Creating a beautiful golden circle of light around you. Stabilizing your electromagnetic field. Breathe in and breathe out and feel the harmony and more inner peace. Feel your body's physical, emotion, mental, and spiritual are healed, are in balance, and are completely aligned with your higher self, the mighty I Am presence. Now extend your vision to the world. Envision Mother Earth and parts of the world that are in chaos, in war, unrest around the globe. See yourself, envision yourself in those areas with your brilliant light, the golden light shining. Project your light to those areas, to the countries, to the people, to the humanity that are in agony, in fear. Let your light create a shift in the consciousness of humanity towards peace, love, unity, and harmony. Anchor your light in those areas. Be the rod that connects the universal light, the divine light, the universal love, and integrate it in those regions. Stand tall in your divinity and let your light shine near and far, bright and high. Let your light dissolve anger, aggression, separation. Let your love unite, harmonize in peace and unity. And know that you have the power to create your reality. Create your vision and see it manifesting, materializing. You have the power to create heaven on earth. Hold your highest intentions for world peace, unity, and love. Let peace prevail on earth. Breathe your peaceful breath everywhere. And let peace prevail on earth. Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with us. Let there be love on earth. Let it begin with us. Let there be light on earth. Let it begin with us. Let this vision integrate deep into your consciousness. As you start coming back, integrate your vision, your reality to this physical reality. Anchor it And wherever you are, be the peace that you are. Be the light that you are. Anchor your I am presence through your physical body down to earth. And just be. Slowly let go of the vision and come back to your physical body. Engage with your physical senses. Become aware of your feet, your hands. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Come back to the here and now.
We're in this portion of inspirational reading. One of the 10 laws of right contained in this blue handout in the back of the church. You're welcome to take it at home. The 10th law of right is tranced by Emma Hoytage written. Manifest love above and beyond everything else. Seek to cultivate it on our families, friends, and among all fellow human beings. The feeling of that real love which cannot think, speak, or do a wrong to any creature, remembering that where love is, all the principles of right are embodied and fulfilled by it. We stand for the next thing.
Number 9, all fly away. Some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away to that home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. When the shadows of this life have flown, I'll fly away. Like a bird thrown, driven by a storm, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy shall never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away in the morning when I die. Hallelujah, by and by. I'll fly away.
Thanks to AshKhen for that beautiful healing meditation and the healers for their energy. Next portion of the service is the inspirational lecture. Today we have someone returning, always has a unique perspective on things. Even in the metaphysical realm, he has a unique perspective on things. So, John always brings forth what he brings forth in love and hope and joy and a little bit of fun also. He's designed a lot of the trails. He's done a lot of nature walks with the Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, schools, youth groups, parks and organizations. And just an all-around good guy, always happy. And today he'll be speaking about the magic of numbers. So please welcome John Springer.
Okay, I'm turned on. Yep. Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome. This is a very auspicious day. Can't you imagine? The date is 11/22. So why wouldn't I speak about the magic of numbers? Now, this is not about numerology, although I'll probably throw that a little bit of that into it as well. But I like playing with numbers. And this is a very auspicious day because on this date a year ago, the mayor of our town died. That was Mayor John Land, and he was mayor of our town for more than 60 years. The longest running mayor in the U.S. He was quite a great guy. I knew him personally. And when, I do this, what tree you are, and I did a presentation for Satoma one day, and of course I showed up with my top hat and sparkles, the fairy shirt on for all these business professionals, and I did all the trees for the chief of police and the fire department chief and all the council people except the mayor. So after the presentation, the mayor comes up to me and says, "What tree am I?" "Well, Mayor, you've been mayor of our town for almost 60 years. You're probably a nut." Sure enough, he was a walnut. He loved it. And also today's date, 11/22, 40 years ago, I was one of the founding members of the creation of the Psi Omega chapter of Alpha Phi Omega on the campus of the University of Central Florida. They were having a reunion this weekend. It's unfortunate I couldn't make it. But I was the longest running pledge of that organization. I was a pledge for 11 years. There's another magic number there. I started at Purdue, it was always a pledge, but never became a member until we started the chapter at UCF. So today was the signing date 40 years ago, 11/22, and I thought that was quite interesting. I look at numbers in different ways. I look at the 11s, the 22s, the double-digit numbers as fairy days. Of course, I would see them that way. And then I see triple digits and quadruple digit days as high fairy days. Not the fairies get high, but I mean it's a high fairy day. And then I look at numbers and I do things and I put it on my calendar, payday, payday, payday. And even numbers like, for instance, like this is the 15th year, well the 15th day is also a payday. So I match those numbers. Now I also play with the numbers in reference to the third Thursday of each month at 3:33. Now get that, third Thursday of each month at 3:33 is a day for trolls. T, that's a T thing. Third Thursday, it's a T, at 3:33 for trolls. Now I go to a park in Orlando at that time, usually every month, and it's a park that has 9 bridges you walk over and 1 bridge you walk under. And trolls love bridges. And I take the Girl Scouts day camp backs up to this park. It's called the Dixon Azalea Gardens. And sure enough, trolls show up. In fact, we had a troll show up in May for a group of Girl Scouts. There were 68 girls and leaders for a Enchanted Garden program. And this troll, and it was a stone that was coming out of the side of the bank. And I told him, I said, "You will not get a picture of him." No one's cameras work, not even iPhones or digitals or phone cameras. Nobody's cameras work. I even put my walking stick on top of his head and nobody could get his picture. So recently, this summer, I did a program with him and he wasn't there. He was totally gone. We don't know where he went. He was only there for that moment, in that space of time, and they all got a chance to see a troll. That's really great excitement. And then the 4th Friday of each month at 4:44, I devoted to fairies. So it's an F thing. fourth Friday of each month is an F. So it's at 444, so I'll celebrate that. Also on the calendar, I look at the numbers. The 10th, the 20th, and the 30th of each month is a bubble day. Now, can you guess why it's a bubble day? It ends in 0. It's a bubble. So, you know, my adage is when in doubt, blow bubbles, especially at intersections. Because you can watch people transform before your eyes. And their eyes get big, and their mouths drop open, and all you hear is bubbles. And there's their little kid just came out from within. So the 10th, the 20th, and 30th of each month, we blow bubbles, especially on those dates. It's really great fun. Now, I have an interesting aspect. You know, if you look at if we look into the numerology of things, my name number is an 8. My birth number is an 8. My love card number is an 8. I'm an 8 of clubs. This year is an 8. So I've been having lots of fun this year. And it's going to be a 9 pretty soon, so we've got to get to the conclusion of things. And so I really embraced all that, numerology, it's infinity, and I've been really busy. By the way, I'm the director of the Fairy and Earth Festival up in the Flat Rock, North Carolina area. And this past week, I was up there every day. I met with team leaders of my festival. I've reserved the bunkhouse, the sanctuary, so we have the entire field, the amphitheater, the stages. I went to another festival up there called the Fairy Arts Festival. I was very disappointed, very unorganized, no master of ceremonies. Of course, I think I'm spoiled because I've been the master of ceremonies for so many events here recently. And I look at things in a different way. And so it was, but I gained a lot of vendors. And we're focusing more on mermaids and mermen and green men and green women. No pirates are allowed. We don't want any of that type. No ogres are allowed. No dark souls are allowed. Just happy, joyful stuff. But you know, it's interesting, all my festivals, and my festival is May 21st and 22nd. Exactly 6 months from today. And so I'm actually doing a church service before the festival opens for our vendors and participants. Since they always declared I'm a member of the Church of the Tree, which it covers everything. Actually, I follow the deity called Gus. Gus is God, goddesses, guides, and guardians upstairs. Now, how I met Gus was through a lady named Beverly Watson through the Sevenfold Foundation, and she came to a light link at Black Mountain many years ago, and came through the door and said, Gus said I needed to be here. And I didn't think much of it then, and I said, what did Gus say? Well, Gus said I was supposed to come here to meet a healer that works with music and the angels. Oh, really? Well, let's see, I have a music massage table, I'm a Reiki master, and I have it surrounded by pictures of angels. Now, who in the heck is Gus? And she goes, well, that's God upstairs. Oh, I think I'll adopt Gus. So I have since added goddesses and guides and guardians, sort of covers everybody in a sense. And it's amazing how many of my students are now following the directions of Gus. It's my friend, my Gus, you know, right here. Even though there's a movie with a donkey named Gus that's different Gus. Now another interesting aspect is when I go to gas stations, and I live these numbers all the time, I purposely go to a pump. For instance, if I go to pump 17, I'll put in $17.17. Or pump 19, I'll get $19.19. Just recently, I stopped at a gas station and I was at pump 9. I wasn't getting. So I put in $19.99. So the guy said, well, so why don't you put in 20? I said, I'm not at pump 20. If I wanted 20, I would get 20.20 if I was at pump 20. Really? I'm at pump 9, that's why I get 19.19. I don't quite understand. I noticed that. But a lot of clerks and a lot of the convenience stores around our area, they know when I pull up the pump 12, oh, you want 12.12 or 24.24, don't you? That's right. And see, we can change people's consciousness by our own actions. That's what's so great about it. We can change their perspective of things and how we work and how we do our lives. I pulled up in DeLand, I pulled up at the 7-Eleven, I wasn't getting gas. I was at pump 2 and I noticed the pump said $22. And I went, Oh, good, it's catching on. We're beginning to pick up on that. And that's important because you can really change a lot by how you look at your numbers and how it means to you. Now, after my second Fairy and Earth Festival in St. Petersburg, everybody's talking about, well, let's go out for a steak dinner. And I said, I'm tired of you talking about it. I'm going to go. So I did have my dinner. I had a really nice dinner, and I got the bill, and it was $18.18. This is a good sign. That means that was an approval for me. The fairy realm approves, because again, it's those double-digit numbers, double-digit, 1818. We went to a restaurant the other day, my wife Patricia and I, and with our discount and coupon and everything else, we got the bill, and it was $16.16. I went, well, this is a good sign. And it happens to us a lot. It really does. It's all the time. It's those, we call them quinky dinks. You know, that's synchronicities, it's quinky dinks. It's much more fun. Even Ellen DeGeneres uses quinky dinks. I thought we were the only weird ones out there, but I guess there's a lot more coming about. This is a good thing. And then Patricia and I, we had a and some of you know our storyline and all, but I was on an assignment at Universal Studios many years ago, and Gus put me on an assignment, and their assignment was, John, you've got to go out and bless the world. Oh, really? And you guys got to set it up. That's all there is to it. I ain't going to go out there on a volunteer basis and try to bless the world. No way. You guys got to set it up. Well, they did. 3 days later, there was an ad that literally popped out in the newspaper looking for market researcher. Well, I've done market research. Point of origin surveys. Well, I've done point of origin surveys at Universal Studios. Well, I've never been to Universal. So I called the lady up, and she goes, you need to come in right away. Well, I really can't. I'm participating in this Mind, Body, Spirit Expo as a speaker and a healer. We'll come in that next Monday, which was October 26th, and so, which was an 8, by the way. And so I did, and I noticed that her initials were JSS, my initials are JSS. She had a Golden Eagle Award on her desk. I used to be called a Golden Eagle in some other lifetime. And I went, well, these are all good signs. And I was hired before I filled out an application. And sure enough, I was standing at the front gate, interviewing people as they come through the gate, and I would, after every interview, would say, and blessings to you and your family. And this was the same year that the Pope was in Israel 3 months later, or 2 months later, saying it's important to bless the world, the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians. Well, I was 2 months ahead of schedule. And so after a month, and I noticed we're building Islands of Adventure and the Dueling Dragons, which was really interesting how they built that. And I did go on it, and I asked the lady next to me, do you scream? No, good, we'll be fine. And so I asked Gus, I said, Gus, I really could use a playmate. An inner child playmate, a teenage playmate, an adult playmate, someone I can blend with spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, sexually, in that order, rather than the reverse, and someone that lives within 5 miles. Be clear what you asked for. And so 3 days later, I was introduced to Patricia. That was 11/29. 11/29. Magic numbers. And I went, wow, this is interesting. So after about 2.5, 3 hours of conversation on the phone, and the guys was a mutual friend of ours introduced us, and she needed a job at Universal, and they were encouraging us to go out and recruit people for this work. And so as I'm getting, I said, you'd like to get something to eat? Sure. As I'm getting into the car, Gus said, say, check your mileage. Sure enough, it was 3.2 miles one way. Got it down to 2.25 miles one way, got it under 5 miles round trip. That was a very good sign. So we got really connected really fast, and we got engaged on the 29th of February, 15 months later. Got married on the 29th of April, 29 months from the day we met. Her birthday, if you add up her birthday, it adds up to be a 29. And then she was looking for a divorce papers several years later and discovered she was divorced 11 years previous on April 29th.
Wow.
And the place where we got married at, there was 40 people at our wedding. If you add 11 to 29, it equals 40. And the property that we got married at was Kelly Johnson. Some of you may know her, and her birthday's October 29th, which is 6 months before and after April 29th. So needless to say, we celebrate 29s. And it comes about a lot in our lives. 29s show up all the time. And so we mark it on the calendar, celebrate 29. celebrate 29. Every month we celebrate 29 in one way or another. So that's part of the joy of finding and the magic of numbers. Play with them. Use them. Too many times numbers are controlling your lives. And you're sort of like, you become too human when you do that. You have the power to change that for yourselves. There's a lot of things that, and people say, well, why do you do it that way? Why not? Why not? Why allow those numbers to control my life? It's so much fun, I have to tell you, with the gas pump and everything. I even pay my Bright House bill in triple-digit or quadruple-digit numbers. For instance, I pay it like $155.55. Then when I see it on my debit card bill, oh yeah, that was for that. That's it for that. And I can pinpoint it, and I know exactly what it is. It kind of throws off the bookkeepers when I do that. I don't care. I know how to keep it clear within myself. There's so many things we can do with our numbers. These are the fun ways you can do it. So that's part of what, the magic of numbers. And by the way, your meditation was using the golden light. I have to bring that up. The golden light usually represents the light of divinity. And I work with that energy as well as pink light, which is the light of unconditional love. And my art pictures are usually in those colors as well. So I'm glad you brought up the light of divinity. Also, I like to bring up about soul tears while we're talking about, because I noticed there were some experiencing that during your meditation. And those are the tears that come from the corners of the eyes, here and here. Those are the soul tears. And the human tears come from here, which is where the tear ducts are located, but the soul tears are here. There was a special piece on one of the news channels, ABC or CBS, and it talked about the differences between the tears from here than the tears from here. And it talked about how there was a chemical difference, and there's a feeling difference as well. So other people are beginning to wake up around this. You're a part of that. And so just in the last couple of days, and by the way, many of you remember my top hat. It's sitting at the Zen Awakening Festival where I was their keynote speaker at this past couple of days and did walkabouts. I got so blissed out that the hat's still there. I did a lot of wing fluffing while I was there, which, by the way, we will offer to you today for those that were interested. They have your wings fluffed. Patricia and I can do that as well. And so it's quite an invigorating and fun experience. So anyway, numbers, and I'll get back to my number magic because this is really important, is that take time to, as you write out things, to look at it, see what your number is, see what your, you might want to step back into that numerology to see what your birth number, add up all the numbers, see what vibrates with you. My birthday is, here's the other aspect with numbers, and a lot of you fit into this. How many of you are over the age of 50? Okay, here's a little trick. After the age of 50, you can add your numbers together. So I am 15. My mother-in-law turned 96 on the 22nd of June, and she is 15. But she also passed away on the 27th at age 96, or age 15. She and I became the same age, basically. I turned 69, which is age 15. And so, whatever, but do not add it down another number. Just stay the first addition. So when you're 99, you're only 18.
Yeah.
So, people say, well, I like reversing it. So when you get to 55, what are you? 55. If you add them together, you're 10. If you reverse it, if you're 66, you're still 66. If you add them together, you're 12. And so if you do it that way, and then you ask people of our age, how young are you? And that's how you do it. I'm 13. Fine. That's perfect. And then your soul begins to feel lighter and more youthful as well, rather than succumbing to the age in which you are. I rode up to North Carolina for my Fairy and Earth Festival this past year with a lady that likes to be called Tiger Lily Morningstar. Right? Tiger Lily Morningstar. And she was going on and on how old and decrepit her parents were. Oh my God, they were so old and decrepit. And you know, that all the major maladies and everything else. So how old are they? Oh, mom is 69 and dad's 70. And what, excuse me, lady, I'll be 69 in October. They need to get with the program, stop bitching and complaining about it. They think they're, you know, they're like, you've got to remind people, that, hey, you're on the Club Med of the universe. Stop bitching at the front desk about your vacation plans. Well, since that little pep talk, their lives have changed. She read on the Right Act when she got back home. They're now making efforts to lose weight and exercise and get their lives back in order again. It made a difference, because I wore her out. I really did. I was up every morning at 5:30. I was on the site by 8:30. I didn't leave the site until 7 o'clock. Wore her out. You know, and it was interesting because 2 weeks before, several weeks before, I had an elf school. April was amazing. April was just jammed. I mean, I was part of a telesummit for the guardians of the spirits of nature. And I talked about the weather. Oh, no, I didn't talk about the weather. I talked about how to talk to the weather. And I was one of 22, again, the 22, the double-digit number, of speakers, teachers in this realm from all around the world. And that was the first part of April. And then the first weekend in April, I was in Seattle, north of Seattle, and did an elf school. Elf is Enchanted Living Forest. And with one of my Enchanted Walkabout Facilitator graduates that happens to live in Snohomish, Washington, north of Seattle. And then I was, the next week, I was the Master of Ceremonies for a Festival of Angels Expo, which ironically, its initials are FAE. And my Fairy and Earth Festival is FAE, so I just had to be a part of that. And that was outside of Portland, Oregon. And then the week after that, I was in Cedar Mountain, North Carolina for another elf school. And went up with a lady named Petal. Now, Patricia said, how do you find these ladies with flower names? I don't know. And the lady that I worked with up in Washington State, she called Patricia and she goes, I am wore out. How's John doing? Oh, he's on his way to North Carolina. Doesn't he have jet lag? Isn't he tired? She's 20 years older than I. Younger, yeah, she's younger.
20 years younger?
Yeah, she's like 40-something, so, you know, it's like, so, you know, it gives you energy. If you don't necessarily sort of kowtow to your age, you know, I'm 15, so I went from 14 to 15, so I'm doing really well. And by the way, you know, and some of you noticed I'm a little bit thinner than I was before. This is the first time in 22 years that I've been in the 200s. So that's a blessing too. I dropped 70 pounds in 7 months, so.
Wow,
Yeah, and I found 10 of it, so. I'm still in the 200s, I'm still in the 200s. My goal is 222 pounds. It's gonna be a while, but I'll get there. And so it's, you know, slim and slick, because I'm going to be, between now and the middle of February, I'm involved in 8 festivals, each retreats and programs. I'm either a master of ceremonies, part of the focus, not including all my walkabouts. And by the way, we got one that's scheduled, which may be rained out, at Port Orange at Sugar Mill Gardens. And so it may be a little damp, it may be a little spongy, so I'll probably end up, we're going to go over there anyway just to see what the status of the park is. And then we'll probably reschedule until more of a drier time, because they've had some flooding in that area, as I recall.
Is that supposed to be today?
Yeah, that's the one that's scheduled for today at 2:30. So if the sun comes out and dries things out, then we probably do it. But I want to tell you 3 things that we tell people before we walk, just for your information. If you see a single leaf wave at you, wave back. Chances are the leaf will stop waving. The second thing, if you see a spinning leaf, you can talk to it. You can get it to speed up, slow down, change directions, or stop. Usually it'll do everything you ask it to do. And the third thing is, if the pixies are around and they really like you, they'll put rocks, leaves, or dirt in your shoes or untie your shoelaces. Now, when I was up in North Carolina at the festival site, I had a rock put in both my shoes at the same time, and my shoelaces came undone. I said, well, I guess you were acknowledging that you know I'm here. And I had one Girl Scout inform me, well, when I was up in Jacksonville, she goes, well, I'll show those pixies. And I had 140 girls and leaders in a circle. She double tied her shoelaces, and as we're standing there talking, we watched her shoelaces come undone. And she's freaking out, and I said, just because you cannot see them does not mean they do not exist. And at our festivals, they see them. And the 3 words that have described our events has been magical, enchanting, and spiritual. Because before we open the gates, I do a heart connection with everybody on staff. We do it at our meet and greets, we do it before we open the doors. People feel that energy. They feel like they're stepping into another realm. And that's exactly what we want them to feel. Thank you very much. Hope you come and play with us.